In 2024, there was so much like quilting everything. Quilted bags, quilted vests, quilted travel bags, quilted pants. If you can think about it, the internet quilted it. And I made a video talking about what in this year I think will still be a thing, and quilted things aren't going anywhere. And I've been wanting to make a quilted bag for a while. So in this video, I am going to make a quilted bag from this pattern that I made. I saw this video first on Instagram. She made this bag and I was like, oh, that's so cute. So easy. I had the perfect fabric. So I made this, but I was like, how could I make this a little bit different? Just like alter it a little bit, because it's very simple. The body is the same piece over and over again, and it's a strap. I put D-rings on mine instead of just like sewing the straps in, because I like a little hardware. So I started drawing a few different iterations of this, and one of those was a quilted bag. I said, why not? I already have the pattern for it. Might as well turn it into a quilted bag, and I like it. Should I be making it right now? Probably not. I've got like 4 days till I'm supposed to be pushing out a whole human. Yeah. I was like, oh, I can make this little bag in 4 days, because technically I can. I mean, I have the material. I'll be making it from jeans. They belonged to my grandmother. I thought that I could use those. And the lining is just a fabric that I already had. I am making a few changes to the bag itself. Outside of the quilting, I'm going to do a zipper pocket. So where the seam is, it's going to be a zipper pocket. And then just like in the one that I made, there's a pocket on the inside. You need a pocket on the inside of your tote bags instead of just having stuff rumble around down there. I'm considering changing the strap to do a buckle with eyelets, and you could just change it, but that may be too ambitious. If you want to make a quilted tote bag, or you want to see if I finish in 4 days, because it's always a challenge, then keep watching. This is the pattern. As you can see, it's very simple. It's currently one piece. It's going to be 3 pieces once I'm done. And tonight I want to hammer that out. I'm going to do that in the lining. This is going to be the lining of vertical stripe, and I'm going to try my best to match my stripes up so that it looks nice and professional on the inside as well. So let me show you how to make this. What you want to do on your paper is you want to just make a square. You are going to make the bottom of the bag 30 centimeters, and one side of the bag is going to be 50 centimeters. And the other side of the bag is also going to be 30 centimeters. Now on your paper, you're going to measure from the 50 centimeters over to 4 centimeters, and then from the 4 centimeters to 8 centimeters. And this is going to be where you connect your line for the body of your bag. After you have connected your diagonal line and connected all of your other lines, you are going to then do the arch in between the 8 centimeter and the 30 centimeter line. You can make this as shallow or as deep as you choose. It does not matter. It is going to be how open, closed you want the opening of your bag to be. So think about how you want the whole opening to be, because what you're making is only 1/2 of the bag for the pattern. So now that that part is taken care of, I'm going to cut it out. You can cut it double fold, pattern side up, or if you're going to do single fold like I am, just make sure you are flipping the pattern back and forth to get all 4 sides, or you will be sewing all of it wrong. Don't make that mistake. I was so close to getting all my pieces to match. There's one that does not. Now things are going to move pretty fast here once you've matched the 2 short sides of the bag and sewn them together. It literally is just done so fast. You iron all of your seams open always, and then give it a top stitch on both sides, and that's literally basically the lining of the bag. Once all of that is done, I'm gonna see if I even have enough, because I underestimated how much fabric I have to create the side to give my bag a little width. Last time you saw me, I completed the body of the 2 lining pieces, right? Since then, It's been a few days. I have the size of the outer, like width altogether is 60 and a half. So you need two pieces that are 3.5 inches by 30 and a quarter. I will have all of this in the blog, the measurements and everything, because it's a bit confusing, I'm sure. I also cut all the denim pieces out. I do not know what it is that I'm going to be doing for the design of the quilting part. I'm hoping it just like inspiration strikes. In real life, this should not take very long. Sewing up the lining, you just pin the bottom seam of the width part to the bottom of the bag and sew it around. Sew both sides of the lining just like that. My problem is I do not know how to sew around corners that well, so I always have to pull out a little video in order for me to sew the corner properly. Then we get to the fun part of this whole thing, which is quilting the bag. For a while, I had no idea what to do for the quilting, so I just did the generic diamonds because I've never quilted before. I knew that anything would be time consuming. Seeing as it's quilting and I hear it takes a long time because I've never done it and I didn't quite have the time because I had somewhere to be. So generic diamonds it is, but it turned out to look really nice, so I'm glad I did them. Once the bag was sewn, I realized it was quite a bit bigger than I had expected it to be, which sounds crazy since I did draft the pattern myself. I was excited though because I seemed to match all my lines up and I was so happy, but it was not something that I could sit and revel in for long because I had to get this bag done so that I can take it with me for where I was getting ready to go. Once the bag was pinned together and all I needed to do was sew the top, I figured, you know, this is gonna be pretty quick. I only have to do the strap and do bias tape, and that should not take much time. Keywords, should not. I freaking did it. Oh my gosh, home stretch. Oh, how naive of this girl to think that it would just be quick the rest of the way. I thought at the time that I'd be able to use that one strip universal bias tape method to make bias tape, and it didn't work. I spent hours individually sewing the bias tape pieces together to give myself a long bias strip so that I could sew it onto the top of my bag. It took more time for me to do that than it did for me to put the whole body of the bag together in itself. I've been sitting here since what, like 7 or something? And it's not like I've been working on something different. I've been struggling because that's what I've been doing, struggling with this bias tape, but not having fabric, looking for fabric, cutting fabric, sewing these pieces together individually, not to mention the bias tape maker ironer thing for this size broke as I was trying to make the bias tape. Everything that could go wrong here at the end has been like going wrong, and I don't understand why. Getting to this point really felt like a relief. Unfortunately, it was not a one and done kind of situation. I missed a few pieces, so I did have to go back over those parts to catch it on the other side. After this, it was just a strap, and putting on straps is very easy, very simple. I could see the light at the end of the tunnel, finally. I have been carrying this bag around for about 3 months now, and I can say that I am so glad that it is as big as it is. I literally could put my breast pump in here. It is really the perfect tote that I can just grab, throw things in, and go. If you want the deets on how to make this bag, check the description, and I will see you next time.